So when we look at Ezra, the 4th chapter, verse number 4 and 5, verse number 4 and 5, the Bible says, the people of the land weakened the hands of the people of Judah and troubled them in building. They troubled them in building. Go up the chapter, go up to verse number 1. Let's look at verse number 1. Even if I was to contextualize it, just embraces it even more. Now, when the adversary of Judah, everybody say the adversary. Every one of us, and the devil is the chief adversary, but he's created a whole lot of imps that act as little midget adversaries. So what would trouble you would not trouble me, and what would trouble somebody else may not trouble you. But it got all these little imps of adversaries, or these little imps doing his job to stop you from becoming or fulfilling your purpose. So you got to make up your mind you're not going to be stopped. But in order to stop you, he's got to discourage you. He's got to figure out a way how to get you to drop your head and almost quit. He got to figure out a way to keep you so busy fighting yesterday's problems that you're never taking time to plan tomorrow's future or to prophesy about your future because you're so overwhelmed with what went on in your past or in yesterday. Tell somebody, I will not be discouraged, nor will I be stopped. You know, the Bible says if 10,000 fall, they won't fall near you. Amen, amen. So watch what it says. And so he raised the people up to discourage them. Note that the battle tactic was to discourage. What's the battle tactic, y'all? To discourage. He wanted to discourage the workers. This way, the enemy has purpose to frustrate the minds of the leaders, to frustrate the minds of the people of God. The enemy goal is to break your focus and as a result, weaken your resolve and destroy your purpose. He wants to weaken your resolve and destroy your purpose. You understand to do anything for God, you got to have a made up mind. So when your mind is made up, the enemy has to do everything he can to get you to change your mind about what you've already made your mind up to do. Amen, amen, somebody. So watch this in Ezra 4 and 5, and he hired, verse 5, he hired counselors against them to frustrate their purpose. He wanted to frustrate their purpose. Watch this. If the enemy has hired counselors or has brought people in, especially around you, to frustrate you in your purpose, you better be very laborious in your decision to talk and listen to anyone that's trying to discourage you. You better pay a real good attention to who you're listening to and who you're around that's trying to discourage you. Be very laborious. Be very laborious. See, they may be sent by the enemy to break you and not to build you. They may be sent by the enemy to break you and not to build you. His ultimate goal. See, you have to understand that the enemy holds on to one key thing. He understands that discouragement works. So what we need to do is define for you the word discourage, not discouragement, but just the word discourage. It is the root word. The word discourage is to dishearten. The enemy sends certain people, certain situations, creates certain things in Christendom, certain things around your life, certain things in your home, certain things in your relationship, and the goal is to discourage you or to dishearten you. It means to bring you to disparity. It means to dissuade you or dispirit you. It means the enemy tries to obstruct by opposition or difficulty. He'll bring up opposition or difficulty. Look at Numbers, the 21st chapter and verse number 4. Numbers 21st chapter and verse number 4 say they journeyed from Mount Hor by the way of the Red Sea to compass the land of Edom, and the soul of the people was much discouraged because of the way. So if the enemy is not able to put the right person before you, he'll cause you to become very discouraged because of the way. Ask anybody that ever went to school after high school. Ask them about midterms. Ask them about having a certain instructors. Ask them about the difficulty in just getting from work to school. If you're an adult and you're a full-time worker and you're trying to go to college and learn something, it is the way you have to do it. And you get discouraged about the way. You're not discouraged about graduation. You want to graduate. You want to succeed. You want to do what you started. But the enemy discourages us because of the way. So in order to do that, he has to obstruct that by creating oppositions of difficulty to hinder you, to bring you to a point of depression and intimidation. And that word intimidate, I love defining the word intimidate. The word intimidate means to inspire fear, to force into or deter from some action by inducing fear. So he does something to cause you to feel as though I'm at a stopping point. I'm in a place where I cannot. What am I going to do? I mean, I've never seen it like this before. And man, I'm telling you, every time you say in your life, you've never seen it like this before, and you get through that, guess what? You run into another situation and you say, I've never seen it like this before. Proverbs the 16th chapter, verse number 4. Proverbs 16th chapter, verse number 4. Let's remember, brothers and sisters, that the Lord has made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. In the New Living Translation, I believe that's what I want, he says in New Living Translation, the Lord has made everything for his own purpose. Now, that's the time you got to understand that your life was done on purpose. Come say, I'm purposeful. God made me on purpose. And the enemy is trying to discourage you on purpose. Yeah. He's trying to discourage you from building up to the purpose in which God has called you to. So the word building is the act of construction. But the root word build means to construct something. Construct something. What are you building in your life? Where do you want to go? What do you want to achieve? What do you feel like God's purpose is for your life? Are you still in a point where maybe you're still trying to pursue that purpose? Or maybe you're trying to get to a place where the scales fall from your eyes, and you ask God, Lord, tell me, what am I here from? In the meantime, the enemy has to stop you from building up the courage to ask God. Got to always remember, brother and sister, in the book of James, it teaches us this. What is life? Life is nothing but a vapor of smoke. You can be here today and gone tomorrow. What is life? What is life? You know, I mean, I'm telling you, man, look. Get me 2 Samuel, the 14th chapter, verse number 14. 2 Samuel, 14th chapter, verse number 14, the NIV version. 2 Samuel, 14th chapter, verse number 14. Watch this, because you can be here today and gone tomorrow. You can be on the cheerleading squad today, and you can be on the defensive team tomorrow. Amen. You can be the joy behind the movement, or you can become a block to the movement. It's all up to you. But listen what it said, like water spilled on the ground. Come on, say like water spilled on the ground, which cannot be recovered. So must we die, but God does not take away life. Instead, he devises ways so that a banished person may remain estranged from him. So listen, may not remain estranged from him. So listen, look, but what we do, brothers and sisters, unfortunately, like water on the ground, which cannot be recovered, what we do, we have things happen in our life. We have situations go wrong in our life. We have things that shouldn't take place, that do take place. Would you look at your neighbor and say, that ain't nothing but water on the ground, and it cannot be recovered? Hey, listen, that's some stuff you just got to put behind you. Okay, you got to put behind you. Let me give you an example. Okay, you and Sister Girl didn't get along. Now you got to pay the doggone child support and move on. You can't keep giving stuff a funeral every day. You can't keep having funerals every day. Hello, there's some stuff you got to say goodbye. That's it. You just got to let it go. If not, it's going to hinder you from achieving what you're trying to build. It's going to hinder you from establishing the increase. That word build means to establish an increase. You're trying to establish an increase. You can't keep crying about a job you lost 2 years ago when you was making $35,000 a year. You don't work there no more. Hello? Either they fired you or you quit, but you don't work there no more. So you got to let that water stay on the ground, because the ground is damp, D-A-M-P. And you can't do nothing about a damp ground. You can't get the water out. Hello. Everybody say that's over. You cannot be stalemated by your purpose. You got to understand, you got to build, you got to construct something, you got to establish and increase, and you got to strengthen. You need something to base from. You need something to base from. And the enemy is trying to discourage you in building a base. Then you notice he said he came to frustrate. I defined discourage. I defined building. Now I define frustrate. He came to frustrate. You know what the frustrate is? He came to defeat you. The enemy came to defeat you. He came to baffle you. He came to nullify you. Amen, amen. In fact, he hit you so hard, he wanted you to be totally comatose when he got through slapping you with words, with circumstances, with situation.